Now we're live.
Hey everybody.
Welcome. Hi, everybody. I'm here with Sofia Wren, a great friend of mine and such a brilliant woman. I would like to read for you her official bio because I don't want to forget important details. There's so much to say about this woman. Sofia Wren helps writers and creative entrepreneurs who want to be more creative and make faster progress. She empowers them to show up, to gain comfort being seen for who they truly are, and helps them to attract opportunities to spread their message through her integrated menu of healing and intuitive services. She's certified by the Quantum Success Coaching Academy and is a world-class healer, serving women entrepreneurs who want to share their message in a bigger way. And boy, is she good at it. She is a featured contributor to the book Voices of Feminine Leadership and columnist for Silent Voices UK and Quantum Success magazine. She's a singer-songwriter and has sung on stages in 3 states in the US. Dedicated to public service, she served through AmeriCorps and currently studies at Loyola Baltimore in the MA program for spiritual and pastoral care. What a powerful set of tools you have, women. I love
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
So I'm so glad I get to interview you today. You are really powerfully combining the world of creativity and healing, and I think those two are just sides of the same coin because we are here to create in all kinds of ways. And for a lot of us, voice is, our lifeline. We're not going to be able to fulfill our purpose unless we can effectively communicate, including in writing, on video, all the ways that we put ourselves out in the world, art, music, singing. I love that you do all of that because you really walk your talk.
Thank you.
So,
Oh.
I thought today I know that I got this cool email from you last night that you were just all excited about this past life course you're doing, past life healing. And that's something that comes up in my work when I journey with people.
Yeah.
There's spontaneously past life material arises because that's a really important part of our larger soul. And these things, these patterns, imprints of past lives are affecting who we are, and a lot of times we don't know it. So do you want to just start by sharing what you're excited about right now about working with past lives and helping women to heal those things?
Sure,
Cool.
yeah, I'd love to. Love to. So, you might want to click the camera button. I don't know if it's on me or...
You're right, it didn't jump. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
it was on you the whole time. Oops.
Oh, it was? You might see me. I'm not sure if I see me or... Okay.
I see. Oh, weird. I see you.
Yeah, so I invited Oonagh onto my YouTube channel a while ago and introduced her to Google Hangouts, which is how we're broadcasting this live. And I want everyone to use Google Hangouts, especially the people I know the world needs to see more of. So I'm giving her a little hand and getting started with it. I know she's going to take off and go crazy with it, have fun. And so I'm Sofia, and it's always been my passion to help people make faster progress, especially the spiritual healers and teachers and writers and entrepreneurs that I see with an amazing message. And it occurred to me a while ago that, hey, if somebody has a book to share or something to teach in a spiritual way, they have these gifts to offer in their business, chances are maybe they've been around a while. And that's where they get this wisdom from. It's where they get this pipeline of information to share. And sometimes it kind of correlates with having some rocky stuff happen in our lives as well. So what I find is that working with past lives really helps to move things more quickly, help people to make faster progress. And it's really about letting good things happen faster. And as I'm sure Oonagh, would agree with me, because we've kind of been talking about this, I feel that healing, we can allow as much healing as we want to. We can allow as much healing as we can handle at any time. So the purpose of doing something like past life healing, from my view, isn't so much to identify a story that we're going to cling on to forever. It's more like turning over every stone to find out what might be the reason why I'm not letting good things happen faster. What might be the reason I'm holding on to something that doesn't serve me, and where can I find it in the underlayers of my being and my experience. So by allowing ourselves to go look under every possible stone, including past lives, then we can find that thing that we might be holding on to is like a reason not to progress, and then honor it, give it a voice, and let it go. Because when things are just sort of lurking out of our awareness, then they have power over us. And when we have the light of consciousness, we gain the power of knowledge, and then we can use that energy for some other purpose, something that is more in alignment with what we're really here to do. So that's my perspective on it. Did you have any thoughts to start in there?
I love that, and I absolutely agree with you. I think it's all about now. It's not about digging up these stories so that we can attach to them or identify them or make a big deal out of them. But it's really about fully understanding ourselves and, what's kind of getting in the way, what's influencing us in a way that's not helpful right now, so that we can really be our full selves in the present. So yeah, I'm curious. I want to ask you more examples, and I'd like to ask you. So say you're working on helping somebody who's got a fear of getting their message out in some way.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go ahead and find out what could be holding them back in terms of past lives? Like, how do you get to that material?
Sure. So sometimes people come at this from a couple different directions. Like, say they know, let's say a book, for example. Let's say they know they need to write a book and it has a spiritual component to it, but they're afraid that, when they're afraid, they have this sort of weird feeling about what will happen when it's in front of many people's eyes and the final result. And that fear can kind of keep them from taking those steps through the editing and publishing process, whether they're aware of it or not. But they may be aware that, hey, I believe in spiritual things. I believe like I could have been here before. I can be open to that idea. So maybe there's something there. So they might have already an awareness that I need to do some past life work to kind of clear my channel, or this has been coming up in readings with an intuitive, or this came up in a dream, or I just sort of know this. So maybe they are aware, or maybe they've come to me just from a creative standpoint, wanting to make faster progress on their project. And from my intuition, I reflect to them, hey, this thing you're mentioning, like, we started exploring it a little bit deeper to find the root, and it just has so much heaviness around it that I suggest, I think this might be a good thing to try, because my sense of it is that it's really bigger than what's right in front of us here. There's something connected to the past. So actually, if it was something from this lifetime, my process would bring it up the same way. But I set my intention to just go back as far as we need to. So oftentimes the past life stuff does come up. But I have worked with someone who didn't really believe in past lives with her religion. And so we had plenty of material to work with. So for me, it's really all about forgiveness. It's really all about moving from disconnection to connection. And I've been really interested in the topic of forgiveness. I have a paper for my graduate program, and I'm making it about that, specifically self-forgiveness, forgiving ourselves for our mistake. And this is like a whole conversation that we can keep going into this, because it's just so intriguing to me. But basically, when we have a mistake or something that we could have done better at, whether it's in the past from yesterday to past lives. You know, it's stored not just in our mind that, hey, I made a mistake. It's actually, we store things in our body. The more guilt we have around it, the more we feel like we should have done better, the more we kind of squeeze in this sense of heaviness. And any emotions that we were feeling at that time, like grief or loss or pain or suffering or embarrassment, anything that was going on at that time that we are hard on ourselves about, we actually prevent it from really moving, and we don't let healing occur there, because it's like reading a book and then earing the page. So like, hey, I want to come back to this because I really don't want to forget this. So this emotional component, this is actually helping me. This is actually helping me to remember. Part of us really thinks that, like, I got to learn my lesson here and I have to hold on to this crap. And then we can just forget, because this could be just unconscious. We could be conscious of it and just move on, but it's still there. It's like this stinky bag of trash that just got kind of scrunched in the trash can and no one took it out. So it's just getting stinkier. And we need that space when it's gone to create and to have new possibilities and imagine things. And we don't realize the extent to which our past disappointments and supposed failures are preventing us from moving forward at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is fascinating to me, and ties right in with what I've seen in my own work. And I love the connection to forgiveness, because I do think it's all about that. And I've had a chance to work with you a little bit, and I found that part of your work really powerful. And I know it's something I need more, and it's something we all need, because it's those feelings of, you know, feeling like where we felt we just did something wrong and we're still holding on to feeling bad about something. Those are the places they keep us stuck, you know, where we feel bad about who we are or what we did. And I just think this is a good, can you start to tell some stories? Can you give us some examples? And I especially want to ask you about something that is that is close to my heart and that I've seen come up a lot with clients in my work. Because in your email, you mentioned that often healers, and women that you work with have had past life experiences where they felt responsible for the death of others. Maybe they were in a responsible position for caring for others, and something bad happened to those other people. So, you know, that is huge.
That is huge. And I wanted to also, maybe we'll come back to this later, but I did want to say that, like, you know, I also worked with you, and I really loved your unconditional love that you weave into so much that you do, or you did with me, bringing in this unconditional love, you know, because that's sort of where forgiveness is leading into, is letting go of all of that stuff so you can just love more, so you can just receive more love. And that's where all the inspiration is coming in. It's the same stuff, you know.
Yes. We're really working on this very much in parallel, and, you know, converging.
So somebody who's a healer, so for example, I do work with a lot of healers, because I just, you know, I love where they're coming from, the desire to be of service. And when I can help someone who is a healer, then I know they're going to help even more people. And it's just like such a great ripple effect for me. So I love working with healers and people who are going to spread a message to multiple people. And a lot of them do have some kind of component as a healer, when they remember things. And sometimes my work really does help people to have visuals or just a sense of knowing. And people can kind of get clear without going into a trance, but just through my process, get clear on what roles they might have played in the past. And specifically, because healers are so common, I've worked with a lot of them, I am noticing patterns. The first is that so many healers are afraid of being seen. So many healers are hiding because of, you know, like some kind of witch trial thing, like hanging or burning, or even just that was going on at the time and they knew about it and they had to start hiding. And so one big mistake I help people to let go of and really, like, get their body in line with their goals is that it's safe to be seen now. Like those old times when they didn't hide well enough and bad things happened because of that, like it's time to let that go so they can be seen. And it's so powerful because when I started doing that, my first experiment was myself. So when I started doing work around that, I started to sell a lot more sessions as an intuitive because I was more comfortable sharing about it. And also, it was like this invisibility cloak just popped off of me, and people could actually see me and feel me and receive what I had more. I was connecting more because some part of me had been holding my energy back and wasn't really ready to have people know about my gifts because it had been a danger in the past and I had lost my freedom. And and it's just like, this is a whole new world. We're really in a whole new place. So we just want to catch up our body and our spirit and every part of us with the reality that you're probably okay. I mean, I live in America and I'm going to be fine sharing that I do tarot readings and whatnot. Another example is if you're a healer so many times, okay, I have a whole list of mistakes I run through with people to see what resonates with them. And one of them, which is very highly charged, if it applies to you, is the feeling like you might have killed someone or hurt somebody that you love. And a lot of people, we get the sense of the mistake first, and the story evolves as we start to unwind all of the being hard on ourselves about it. As we start to unwind that, we start to see other pieces like, oh, maybe it was for self-defense, like someone was attacking and they had, you were trying to put them off and then like that they got hurt. Or, hey, maybe you were imprisoned at the time and you saw these things happening and you couldn't do anything about it. And that was just soul crushing, but it really wasn't your fault that people got hurt. And then very, very commonly, which really breaks my heart actually, is that healers, like maybe during like the plague or during another time, they took it upon themselves to try to heal people, but it was either beyond their ability or they couldn't help that particular person. And to honor their memory, to honor them and their life and the life that was lost or the harm done, they are carrying some of that grief and loss and pain of not being able to save them for eons afterwards. It's just really, it saddens me that people with such a big heart that want to help people can carry some kind of suffering with them in their energy field and their body and their muscles that is one from long ago, but two was really coming from an intention to be of service. And it doesn't serve anyone to be beating yourself up about it. You want to take the lessons, take the clean information without all of the emotional baggage that's a lower vibration, and that is only going to manifest more lower vibrational things in the future. You can help so many more people when you're happy and you're fed and you're being well paid and you're able to have, a practice that makes enough money for you to have freedom in the way you want freedom, or go travel or go be with friends, and everyone's happier. So there's no reason to have that old model of being the martyr or suffering or anything like that, now.
I love that. That's so important. I know that for myself as a healer, it's very hard for me to just keep, even though I can be very work oriented, if I don't take care of myself and I'm not in joy and I'm not having fun and doing things for myself, my passion for my work kind of dries up because I'm just not caring for myself. So we need to love ourselves and be as happy as we want to help our clients to be, and we need to be as successful as we want to help our clients to be. So that's, I love how you're combining what you're doing, putting it in service of entrepreneurs and helping people figure out how to be successful and make money and have the lives that they want for themselves, not just not just be good at their work.
Yeah, and I think deep down that we know what we need to do. So that's another part of my philosophy when I'm helping spiritual writers or creative entrepreneurs to move forward more quickly with their creative process, whether that's spreading the word on your blog or marketing or going out there and giving a talk or writing. It's, you know what to do. You've got the channel, you've got the skills. And if you don't know, well, the universe is going to drop the next step, you know, within your knowing, within your consciousness. If you're open, if you're receptive, if you've got something in the way, then that's just, you're not going to listen to it, or you're not going to receive it. For instance, if you're too tired to do anything with the information, you might need to rest so you can get the next step. But I help people to find that balance of, okay, what do I need to do to be receptive? And now let me look through the different ideas I'm getting to see which are the guided ones. You know, what does spirit really want me to do? What does my spirit really want me to do? What is my higher wisdom telling me to do? Where do I shine? And where am I getting in my own way? So that way we can take things step by step and have it be fueled by some kind of structure, but mostly by passion and by a connection to inspiration and what drives us, like helping people from the space of having more than enough so we can actually be generous. So helping people in a way that feels really good and is exciting, because it's like, I'm meant to do this, you know, and really I really feel like it's just about allowing ourselves and letting ourselves have it be this fun and easy. And any kind of, you know, past life stuff is some of the heaviest that could get in the way, because it may have resulted in a death or in a lot of pain, and it can be so unconscious and hidden from us that we don't have access to the memories to just like know off the top of our head. Like for instance, like, oh, hey, like I had this parent and they were really crappy to me. Like we might know that and be working on that and trying to heal that, but we might not realize that there's a pattern over lifetimes kind of similar to something. But it's really all about just clearing the way, so that way you have a direct connection to your intuition, so you always know what to do next.
I love that. That's so central. You know, we have a little more time, and I kind of want to open this up for whatever you are most feeling to share right now about this whole topic.
Oh, sure. Okay, cool. So yeah, I've been so excited. I've actually been working on this process for about a year and a half now. It was about 2 years ago that I first started thinking about doing past life work. And I just sort of downloaded this process, I guess. I had some sort of preliminary testing things out, and then I woke up one day and I did this whole thing that was less about working with one lifetime and more about, let me just see whatever things I might have done wrong so I could just like clear that out of my system and just move on. You know, it was a little bit more like, let me look at the whole span of me being around. Just show me everything, universe. And I just wrote everything down, and then I took it to different people to test it. And now I've worked with dozens of people and taken them through my process. And it occurred to me at the beginning of the month, I actually had kind of like a vision, and I was getting some healing from somebody where you take a look at your inner saboteur. And I've done this many times. So over the years, my inner saboteur has really started to be a lot quieter, and you know, I don't really take it seriously anymore, because I've done this work to really let it go. And instead, I felt like I was seeing more of a collective consciousness saboteur.
Wow.
It's really interesting. I wasn't seeing what everyone else in this room was seeing. I was kind of having my own vision, but I saw a woman, and as I was watching, the veil was coming off of her so she could be seen in all of her power and all of her glory, and she could be really in the world as an equal and let go of all the bonds of, you know, the patriarchy or things, being in servitude, being hidden, you know, not believing in herself. And I was viewing her from the eyes of the goddess Athena, and I was able to see her objectively, with a little detachment, and to really see the truth of the situation. And right after I did that, I felt like I need to do a past life class. And I just decided to do it of the week later. And when I put out a little PDF about it, immediately 7 people said they wanted to do it, and I had only expected to teach 6 people. So I had to split it into 2 groups. And so that was we just had the first group last night, and we'll have the next one next week. And it really is like each person brings in a little piece of the puzzle. Because I have been doing this work one-on-one with people, and it's really, really fantastic. But it is nice to be able to make it available to more people. And then there's something just really cool about, again, like when I mentioned that healers tend to hide. Forgiveness is about taking people from being isolated in some way, being disconnected from the rest of the universe, from God or Goddess or the divine, from forgiveness, from compassion, from love, because some part of the process of being unforgiven is about, like, you don't deserve to be connected. Like, you got to learn when you get over there, then you can join us, but when you forgive and you just say, you know what, there's not even anything to forgive. You're cool. You've always been good. We're happy to have you here. When you can bring yourself or a person out of that state of disconnection and into a community, a safe space, and to be able to give voice to those things, you start to not only realize the illusion of it, but then you also have this wonderful group coming together and collaborating in this new kind of empowerment that we as women and really cool conscious men are coming out and creating now in the world of collaboration. Like we can all be here in a circle and on a flat plane together and be empowered. It's not about over under. It's just about this new feeling. And so many people don't want to be empowered because they're thinking it has to be over or under someone and hurt someone. But what if there's a way for us all to support each other in being empowered? So having the group, it also has that element to it of really stepping into that different kind of power. And everyone is using their voice. With my healing tool really involves using your voice and kind of learning how to heal yourself. So it's very empowering in that way too. And then people can share what's coming up for them and get more support from me. And it's like each person that spoke up had a little piece of the puzzle that together we all reached a different, deeper level of healing. So it was really, really neat. And some people are coming back that have worked with me in the past, that have done the process before, because they're just ready for the next level. And because it's sort of interesting to see what happens in this experience. So I'm loving it, and I know I'm going to do classes again. So I'm just really excited. I feel like this has been a really guided process, and it's a great place to start, whether people feel like that's, they feel satisfied with the work and they just want to take that away from them, and if they feel guided on their path, or if they feel like, there's a little bit more to do here, they might want a little bit more help with me, then they can do that. But it's a nice place to start in on the kind of things I have to share. So it's just exciting.
I love it so much, and I feel you as you work with groups, as you get to these bigger patterns. I feel you reaching more into healing the collective. Cool. And so, nurturing kind of collaboration and community that we're building in the world. I just feel like you're an integral part of this change.
Thank you.
So I really want people to know how they can get in touch with you if they're interested in your classes and finding out more about working with you or learning from you.
Oh, sure. Yes. So so you can check out my site, sofiawren.com. It's S as in Sam, O as in fabulous, IA, Run like the bird. And I have a little place on there. SOFIA. Yes.
FIA.
It's the Italian spelling. Instead of the
run like the bird.
Yes. Run like the bird. And there's a little tab on there. It says, let's talk. And you can just put your information there and we can have a conversation if you're interested in my class. I like to have a conversation with everyone interested just to make sure that we're all on the same page and it's a loving environment for everyone and they are getting something that's going to serve them. And yeah, and if you put in the comments, I'll also send you the PDF with all the information about the class just to take a gander at it. And while you're there, you might find some interesting materials. I've got lots of articles on writing, and there's a free class on my site where you can learn about how to connect to creative soul, which is that spirit that runs through your intuition and helps you to create, whether in your business or in your writing, to help give you inspiration on your next steps.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us. And
You're welcome.
this video will be up on my YouTube channel, and the information for anyone who missed it will be posted, as well as how to get in touch with me. And yeah, thank you so much for talking with me this morning. I absolutely love you, and it's just so much fun to spend a little time with you talking about the brilliant work that you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this place to share, and it's always a pleasure as well. I love connecting with you. You're so great.
All right, thank you. So I'm sure I'll talk to you soon, and thank you to everybody who joined us, and to all who will later watch this on YouTube. Love to all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.